Okay, let's start. I think most of us are here. Tonight I'll be discussing about percentage. So, am I audible? Yes, no. Okay, okay, then let's start. Uh, why this topic is important is because I was planning to give you an analysis of how many questions were asked every year in NPSC as well as NSSB, but due to some time issue, I couldn't provide you. But later, when I give you this PDF, obviously there I'll try to give you the analysis of how many questions are asked every year. So likewise, you will have some understanding about how important the topic is. So when we talk about percentage, there there are few topics where percentage is directly related to some topics such as profit and loss, DI, and this DI every time you will see in exam this one, whatever exam it may be, you will see DI. So in DI, what we do is we use only three concepts. One is percentage, and the other one is ratio and proportion and average. Those are the only three concepts. If you are clear with those three concepts, then DI is easy. And the third one is simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest and compound interest, it deals with how much percent you are paying to someone or how much percent you are getting from someone. That means simple interest and compound interest, it is based only on percentage, and even some parts of or percentage and ratios, they are correlated with one another. Let's say for example, yeah, let's say you have 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is nothing but 50%. Half means 50%, right? So likewise, 1/4 means 25%. But I'll tell you how to convert from a fraction to a percentage or from percentage to fraction. So with that in mind, let's start with percentage conversion. So let's say you're converting a fraction, or let's say you're converting 25% to fraction. What we do is, whenever you're converting mm, a number which is in percentage, and if you're converting it to fraction, what we do is we just divide it by 100. In place of this percentage, we write 100 in the denominator. That means when you're converting from percentage to fraction, which means there is a division of 100. So which, if I cancel this one, 1/4, which means 25% is nothing but 1 by 4. Same thing goes, let's say another example can be, if you're converting 75%, if you're converting it to fraction, then what will happen is that I'll just directly write it here. 75%, since there's a percentage, I'll divide it by 100 since I'm converting it to fraction. So 75, 25, 3s are 25, 4s are, which means 3 by 4. So 75 fraction in terms of from fraction to percentage, what will happen is that you need to multiply by 100. That's the only thing. So let's say you are converting 1 by 10%, 1 by 10 to percentage. So 1 by 10, you just multiply it by 100. So 0, 0 cancel, which means 10%. What about 1 by 5? If you are converting it to fraction, 1 by 5, I need to multiply it by 100 in order to convert it to percentage. So which means 5 2s are 10. That means 20%. So the simple thing is this. Whenever you are converting from percentage to fraction, what we do is we divide it by 100. Divide it by 100. That's number one thing to keep in mind. And number two is, whenever you're converting from fraction to percentage, what we do is we multiply it by 100. That means if you want a number, if you have a number or a fraction, and if you want to get your answer in terms of percentage, you just multiply it by 100. Then the answer that you are getting is nothing but it will be in percentage. That's number one. Uh, Let me give you an idea about quick conversion rule. I call it as 10 tides rule or 10 tides method. So it's something like, mm, as a Christian, what we do is we know whenever we get money, we give 10 tithes. So in that case, we are very fast in calculating 10 tithes. Let's say nearest example is you get 5,000 as your you get 5,000 as your scholarship. Then what will happen is that you directly know that you need to pay 500, which is 10%. So even though you get 2,200 rupees as your scholarship, what will happen is that you will directly calculate in your mind. Your brain will be very fast calculating this because we are used to paying 10 tithes. So what will happen is that you will say, oh, 220 rupees, which is the 10%. So why 10 tithes rule is important is because we are used to this kind of things. So when we are used to some things, what we can do is we can calculate things very fast. So you have 10% here. If you need 30%, then you just multiply by 3. So 5 threes are 15, 15,000, 1,500. 220 is nothing but 10% of this one. 10% of this one. If you need, let's say, 40%, 40% means you just multiply it by 4. So 10% is this one. I'll just multiply it by 4. 4 twos are 8, 4 twos are 8. That means 880 is nothing but 40%. So that's an easy way of converting from uh, or easy way of extracting percentage of a certain number. Okay, we call it quick conversion method. So this method, it becomes handy when we are solving questions, especially simple questions. Okay, let's go to next. Comparing between two numbers. So when we compare two numbers, in terms of percentage, what we do is this. This is very much important for, especially for TI, this point. If asked y is what percent of x, then x is always written in the denominator. I'll take an example here. Or do I have a question here? I'll just take a simple number. Let's say 25 is what percent of 200? So what I'm doing here is that in this question we are asked to find 25 is what percent of 200. So in this case what we do is we are comparing 25 with what? With 200. So the compared quantity should be in the denominator. So 25 divided by 200. But remember, we have learned from earlier that if I need to get my answer in terms of percentage, I need to multiply it by 100. So the first rule, it says, if asked y is what percent of x, then x is written in the denominator. I've done the same thing here. 25 is what percent of 200. So I'm writing 200 in the denominator and 25 in the numerator. That's what I'm doing. Now if I cancel this, 25 ones are 25, 25 eights are. So which means I'm getting 100 by 8. I can reduce this one. 250 or 4, 2 and 4, 25. 25 divided by 2, which is 12.5%. So this is what we have. So when you are comparing two quantities, so the compared quantity, or we are referring with x here. So in this case, if you are referring with x, then we use that x in the denominator. In this case, x is 200 here. So in DI, this is handy, so try to keep in mind. And let's say statement number 2 is this. If y is compared with x, if y is compared to x, then we always assume x as 100%. I'll give you an example you understand properly here. Let's say 25 is, or let me use another number. 15 is 25% of x. Then in this case, we are comparing 25 is what? 15 is 25% of x. So in this case, we use x as 100%. That's what it means. So 15 is 25% of x. So which means x is 100%, and the 25% of that value is nothing but 15. That's what it means. So I think I'll explain this better when we do some questions here. Let's start with the question. So with that in mind, we'll start with type number 1, which is number based. So in number based, what we do is this. If P is 50 and Q is this one, 230, then Q is what percent more than P. So let's find how much, without not in percentage but in numbers. Okay, I'll just subtract Q minus P. It is 230 minus 50, which means I'll get 180 here. If I subtract this two, I'm getting 180. So which simply means that this means that Q is more than P by 180. That's one thing. And number two is, what is asked? We are asked to find in terms of percentage. So P is this one and Q is this one. Q is what percent more than P. So remember, P should be in the denominator. We are comparing Q with P. So Q is more than P by how much? By 180. But we are comparing it with P, so which means 50. And I need to get my answer in terms of percentage, so multiply by 100. So I'll repeat again. First, we need to find Q is more than P by how many numbers. So Q and B, if I subtract, I'm getting this one. That means Q is more than P by 180. But the thing is that we are comparing it with P. That's the reason why I'm writing P in the denominator, and it is 180 more than. So I can reduce this one. So if I reduce this one 50 into 2, that means 180 into 2 is 360. That's what we are getting. So that's number one, and let's go to number 2 here. This type of question can be asked again. 76% of x is 228. Find the value of x. So in this type of question, what we do is, I'll just show you by algebraic approach, okay? That will be much more better and more understandable. So I'll just form an equation using this. 76% of means, always remember that's a multiplication, of x is means equal to, okay? Is means equal to 228. That's what we have. Let me convert this 76% to fraction. So 76 divided by fraction means 100 into x equal to 228. So which means x is equal to, if I am to transfer this denominator to the other side, it will be in the numerator. So which means, and if I'm to transfer this numerator to the other side, it will be in the denominator. So that's what we have. So now we can cancel this. Let me cross check here. 76 into maybe 3, 6 is 18, 721, 22, yes. So which means 76 into 3 is this one. So x is nothing but 3 into 100 is 300. We are asked to find the value of x, and the value of x is this one. So I'll repeat again. 76% of x is 228, and we are asked to find the value of x. So in that case, I'm forming an equation using this first part. So the first part is 76% of x is equal to this one. Then 76%, if I am to convert it to fraction, it will be 76 divided by 100. And of x, I'm transferring this 100 to the other side, it will go up here. I'm transferring this 76 to the other side, it will go in the denominator. If I cancel this one, I'm getting the value of x is 300. Are you guys following this? Yes, no, you can give a thumbs up. Let's go to another type. It is based on number base again. Even this question, I'll form an equation out of this, okay? So let's read the question first. 50% of a number is 18 less than the 2/3 of the number. So let's take one at a time. I'll just write 50% of a number, I'll assume the number is x, okay? 50% of a number is 18 less than, that means uh, plus 18 is equal to 2/3 of the number, 2/3 of the number, or I'll just write off here. Of the number. So now in this case, you look at this one. Let's say difference of, or how should I bring up here? 50% of a number is 18 less than the 2/3 of the number. That means this 50% is less than the 2/3 of the number by 18. So what I'm doing here is this: 50% of the number is this one, is less than the 2/3 of the number, which simply means that if I add 18 to the 50% of the number, then I'll get the value of this one. I'll give you an example to understand this. 5 is 2 less than 7. If the question is like this, 5 is 2 less than 7, which means in 5, if I add 2, then I'll get 7. That's what I'm forming equation here. So 50% of x is 18 less than this one. So that's the reason why I'm adding the term here. So try to understand that. Now, I formed an equation. So what I'll do is I'll try to solve this one. 50% means 50 divided by 100 into x plus 18 is equal to 2 by 3 of x. So let me simplify this one. 50%, 51 there, 52 there. That means I have, I'll just write it here, 1 by 2x plus 18 is equal to 2 by 3x. So which means this can be formed as 18 is equal to, I'll transfer this, okay, 1 by 2x to the other side, 2 by 3x minus 1 by 2x. So which means 18 is equal to the LCM of 3 and 2. LCM of 3 and 2 is nothing but 6. Why? Because these two are prime numbers, so multiplication of that two number will be the LCM, which is 3 2 are 6, and 2x into 3 times how much is 3 times how much is the LCM? 3 times 2, so I'll multiply it with 2 here, minus 2 times how much is the LCM? 2 times how much is the LCM? 2 times 3 is the LCM. So which means 18 is equal to 4x minus 3x divided by 6. So if I transfer this 6 to the other side, 6 from the denominator to the other side, what will happen is that 18 into 6 equal to 4x minus 3x is nothing but x only. So 6 into 8 is, I think it's 108, which is equal to x. So our answer here is 108. So yeah, are you guys following this? If not, I'll repeat again if you're not following. Okay, let's try one more, okay? Because this type of question they used to ask in NPSC a lot, so that's the reason why I'm doing this. When 35 is subtracted from a number, it is reduced to its 80%. So it's an easy one. If this is a number, if x is a number, then from the number, if I subtract 35, then what happens is that it becomes 80% of the number. So I'll repeat again. If 35 is subtracted from the number, then it becomes 80% of the number. 80% of what? The number. So if you have formed this equation, then you have the answer. x minus 35 is equal to 80% means 80 divided by percentage. I need to convert it to fraction, which is 100 of x. So 0 0 will get cancel each other. 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10. So which means I have x minus 35 is equal to 4 by 5x. So I'll transfer this one 4 by 5 to the other side, and I'll transfer this 35 to the other side. So x, this, if I transfer to the other side, it will be minus 4 by 5x equal to, if I transfer this plus minus 35 to the other side, it will be plus 35. Now the LCM of this one, there's nothing there means there's this one, or yeah, so which means I'll just do it by this method. So LCM is 5x minus 4x. Why? Because 1 times how much is the LCM? 1 times 5. So 5 into x is 5x equal to 35. So if I subtract this 2, I'll get my answer as x only. And if I transfer this 5 to the other side, it will be in the numerator. That means 5. 5 5s are 25, 5 29, 5 3s are 15, 16, 17. Oh, how much? 5 5 3s are 15, 16, 17. I'm getting 175 here. Did I make a mistake here? If 35 is subtracted, the number is reduced to 80% of the number. Oh, we are asked to find 4/5 of the number. So the number is this. The number is 175. I'll explain again right there. If 35 is subtracted from the number, then I'm getting 80% of the number. So what I'm doing is I'm converting this 80% to a fraction, which is this one. And after converting that, what I'm doing is I'm transferring around. So if I reduce this one, I'll get 4 by 5x, and if I transfer this 35 plus minus 35 to the other side, it will be plus 35, and if I transfer this plus 4 by 5x, it will be minus 4 by 5x. And the next thing is I'm finding the LCM of 1 and 5. LCM of 1 and 5 is 5, and 1 times how much is the LCM? 1 times 5, so 5 into x is 5x, and 5 times how much is the LCM? 1, so 1 into 4x is 4x. So if I transfer this 5 to the other side, that means I'll get this one. So multiplication of this two, I'm getting this. But in the question we are asked to find 4/5 of the number. So which means 4 by 5 of the number here is 175. So 5 3s are 15 and 5 5s are 25. So if I multiply this two, 4 5s are 20, 0 2 in hand, 4 3s are 12, 13 14, 140. So our answer here is 140. So are we clear with this? Okay, that is number based. Okay, so let's go to next, which is based on consumption. This question is NPSC favorite question. There is lots of question in BYQs. Actually, because of shortage of time, I couldn't get much BYQs, but I have some questions. So let's try those questions at last. So now type number 2 is this. Problems on consumption. I'm giving you two statements here. A is R% more than P, then P is less than A by. If this question is asked, then we can use this formula. Or the other way is this. If the price of a commodity is increased by R%, then reduction in consumption so as not to increase the expenditures. So when we talk about when we come across this type of question, we use this formula. So the simple thing is this: if there is increase, then what we use is we use a plus sign here. If there is decrease, then we use minus sign here. That's the only thing. These two formula are the same thing, just that one is if there's increase, then there's different. If it is decrease, then we use minus sign there. But remember this one, A is R% less than P, and then P is more than A by. Recently held exam in SSB, they asked question based on this one. I don't know which one, whether this one or this one, but one question was asked. I couldn't get the question, so you can cross check the question. It was based on this one. So let's try some questions based on this. The question can be asked this way: the price of a commodity is increased by 50%. By what fraction must its consumption be reduced so as to keep the expenditure same. So we are asked to find fraction. So I'll do is I'll do like this. The formula was this. What was the formula? The formula was R. If there was an increase, that means it was 100 plus R, right? And we use into 100. If fraction is asked, then you don't need to put this, because we know that whenever we are converting from fraction to percentage, we multiply it by 100. And in this question, we are asked to find the fraction. So we are just asked to find the fraction. So what I'll do is, R is nothing but how much? 50% here. So let's apply the formula here. 50 divided by 100 plus 50, which is nothing but 50 divided by 150. 50 ones are 50 threes are. So it is 1 by 3. So reduction, so which means reduction in consumption in terms of fraction is this. What if it was asked in terms of percentage? Then you just multiply it by 100. So I'll just multiply it by 1 by 3 into 100. If reduction in consumption uh, in terms of percentage is asked, okay, so you just divide this one, which is 100 divided by 3, which means you will get 3 3s are 9, 3 3s are 9, 3.33 something like that, okay. So 3.33 something percent will be your answer for this, if in terms of percentage is asked. But in this question, we are asked to find only fraction. That's the reason why I'm leaving the answer at the fraction. Uh, the price of a diesel is decreased by 50%. That means we are talking about, oh, it's increased by 50%. We are talking about increase. By how much percent a drug owner must reduce in consumption? That means we are asked to find the percentage reduce in consumption in order to maintain the same budget. So same thing here. Oh, we've done the same question here. R is nothing but, the framing of the question is different, but the numbers, the values, and the concept still remains the same here. It's 50%, which means the formula was R divided by 100 plus R into 100. So which simply means, because we need it in terms of percentage, that's the reason why I'm putting 100 here, okay. So now R is 50, 100 plus 50 into 100. So which simply means 50 divided by 150. I'm doing the same thing again and again, so which is 3. So 100 divided by 3, I've given you 3.33%. So which this is the answer. So it was, so when we compare this to, when a is, whenever a is r% less than p, then p becomes more than a by. So that's that type of question, okay, here. If the price of a rice is 30% less than the wheat, then the price of the wheat is how much more than that of the rice? So it is based on the second one. So second one formula was what? It was R divided by 100 minus R into 100. So remember, this rice here, it represents A, and wheat here represents P. That means A is 30% less than P, and we asked to find the price of what? Then P is how much more than A? That's what they're asking. So I'll try to reframe the question again here. If the price of rice is 30%, so I'll just do like this. If A is 30% less than P, then P is how much more than A? So in that case, the formula is this one. So which means 30 divided by 100 minus 30 into 100. So 30 divided by 70 into 100, which means 0 will get cancelled. So which means I get 300 divided by 7. So 7 4s are 28. So I'll just divide this one. 300 divided by 7 is 7 4s are 28. That means 20. 7 2s are 14. So which means 6 point, and 60 is 56.8. So I'll just stop here. 42.8%. So I'll repeat again. Here I'm applying this formula. So in this type of question, what we need is we need to figure out which formula to apply when. Okay, here we are comparing a quantity which is less than another quantity, and we are asked to find that quantity is how much more than the previous quantity. In that case, uh, there's a less than here, so which means I need to use minus sign here, and the percentage here is 30%, so I'm putting the value and getting our answer is 42.8%. Are we clear with this? Any thoughts regarding this uh, type of question? Okay, I'll move on to next. Let's go to population based. When we talk about population based, it is somehow similar with compound interest. So let's say uh, I'll just give you some certain formulas and let's try some questions. If a population is increasing at R% per year, then after n years, the population would be this one. You need to memorize this formula. There is logical approach to this type of question, but it's very complicated, so I'll just give you a formula that's much more easier. And if it is increasing at R%, then n years ago, that means n means it may be 2 years ago, it may be 3 years ago, it may be 5 years ago. Okay, so in that case we write this way. So if I am to rewrite this one, it's like this. Okay, it is p divided by 1 plus r divided by 100 to the power n. Okay, so next is this. If it is decreasing, then decreasing, obviously we know it is minus, so the difference is only this. There's a minus sign here. After n years is this, and n years ago is, there's a minus sign, and same thing here, it will be p divided by 1 minus r divided by 100 to the power n. Let's try some question based on this. The question is this. A bacteria of 2000 is increasing at a rate of 5% per hour. Then what will be the number of bacteria after 3 hours? That means here the time we are talking about, time frame is in terms of r, and we asked to find after 3 hours. So earlier the population is how much? 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's try the formula first. The formula for this one is, it is about increasing, so which means there will be a plus sign, right? P into 1 plus r divided by 100 to the power n. That's what we have. So now r is how much? R is 5%, and n is how much? N means time. Okay, how long? So which means this is 3 hours. I'll just rewrite something here. N is nothing but it is time. Always remember this. N is nothing but time. So now here in this question, I'll just apply the formula here. We have formula which is p1 plus, so p here is 2000 into 1 plus r here is 5 divided by 100 to the power n here is 3, so which means 3 hours, which means 3 day. So I'll just reduce this 2 1 2 3 and 5 into 20, that means 1 plus 1 by 20 to the power 3. Okay, it will be a long calculation, so what I'll do is I'll do like this: 2000 into 21 by 20 to the power 3. When you have a mixed fraction, okay, like 1 1 by 2, then what we do, if you have a mixed fraction, we multiply this 2 and we add this one. That means what we do is we do like this: 2 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2. So 2 ones are 2 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 3 divided by 2. So that's a simple term I'm using here. So whenever you see this kind of question, there's a plus sign here and you have a fraction here, so you multiply this to 20 into 1 plus this one, then you will get the correct answer. You don't need to find LCM, or you don't need to complicate things. So that's what I've done. 20 into 1 is 20 plus 1 is 21. But we know that if we have 2 to the power 3, this simply means 2 is repeating 3 times. 2 is repeating 3 times. So that's what I'll do here. We have 2 1 2 3 into 21 by 20, that is 1. 21 by 20 is second. 21 by 20 is the third. So now 0 0 will get cancelled, 0 0 will get cancelled, another 0 0 will get cancelled, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, which means I have what do I have? 21 into 21 into 21 divided by 4. Okay, 21 into 21 is 441. So 441 into, I'll just multiply 441 into 21 is 441. 2 and 4 to the 8, 4 to the 8. That means I'll get 1629 divided by 4. So if we reduce this, we'll get the answer. I'll just leave it here. We can divide as well. If I divide, I'll get something like this. 4 2s are 8, and that means 4 3s are 12, and 4 1s are 4, and 4 5s are 20, and 4 2s are 8, and 4 5s are 20. You'll get something like 2315.25. So division, I'll leave it for you. So I'll repeat again. The question is this: bacteria, initial bacteria population of the bacteria was 2000. So P is nothing but 2000, and increasing at a rate of 5%. That means R is nothing but 5%. We are talking about R's in terms of time is R's here, and we have to find after 3 hours. So which means N is nothing but 3 hours. The formula is P into 1 plus R divided by 100 to the power N. N means time. Okay. Now why plus here? Because we are talking about increasing. So 2000 into this one, I'm multiplying this, I'm simplifying this one, I'm getting this, I'm multiplying this one and adding this one. That means 20 into 1 plus 1 is 21 divided by 100 to the power 3. Since we have to the power 3, that's the reason why I'm writing this one 3 times, and I'm reducing and I'm cutting. If I multiply this term, if my multiplication is not wrong, then I'm getting this. That's what we have. So if we divide it, we'll get the answer is this one. Let's try one more question, and after that we'll move on to the next. Okay, the value of a machine is depreciates at the rate of 10% per annum. The cost of a machine at the present is this one. What will be the worth after 2 years? Okay, this type of question, it is easier with the 10 types approach. Also for me, I would have gone by that method. Why? Because we are talking about 10% here, and depreciates means the value reduces every year, and the present value is this one, and we also find after 2 years. If we are to use formula, the formula is this: P into 1 minus R by 100 to the power N. So now P here is this one, this is P value, and this is R value, and this is N value. So now I'll put the value 16123 into 1 minus R here is 10 divided by how much? 100 to the power how many years? 2 years. So 160 and 123 into 0 0 get cancel each other. That means 1 minus 1 by 10 to the power 2, which will give me 6 1 and 1 2 3. This is comma. Okay, 1,60,000, and I'll do the same thing here. 10 into 1 minus 1, which is 9 divided by 10 to the power 2. So which means I'll have 16 1 2 3 and 4 into, this is 2 times, that means 9 divided by 10 into 9 divided by 10. 0 0 0 0 will get cancelled. So which means I'm getting 9 9s are 81. So 81 into how much? 16. 6 1s are 6, 6 8s are 48, and 81. So 6 9 and 1 2. We are getting 1296 And how many zeros left? 1, 2 left. So which means we are getting our option as option number C, which is the correct answer. Net percentage change. So when we talk about net percentage change, actually recently held exam, they asked one question based on this one, and this is one of the most favorite question of NSSB. Especially you will see lots of question based on this one, but mostly it will be based on this one only. If you ask me which out of this 1, 2, 3 and 4, which one is the most important, I'll tell you this one is the most important, because most of the question that you see in exam in NSSB or NPSC, mostly in NSSB, we see questions based on this one. So try to memorize this. So if there is an increase in percentage 2 times, that means if an item is increased by 20% and again it is increased by 30%, then in that case we use this formula. That means 20 plus 30 plus 20 into 30 divided by 100. That's a formula. If increased 2 times, okay, that means first it was increased by 20% and again it was increased by 30%, then in that case we use this formula. And the second formula is this: if a number is decreased 2 times, that means if a number is decreased by 20% and again it is decreased by 30%, that means something like discount. This is a formula for discount. We will do question based on this one. So in that case we use this. And if a number is decreased and increase, that means first decrease and then increase, in that case we use this formula. Again, the last one, this formula is also important. If a number is increased by x% and then decreased by x%, then the formula is this: x squared divided by 100. Then remember, the net result will always decrease. So I'll take an example. If a number is increased by 20%, increased by 20% and then decreased by 20%, then what will happen is that the formula is 20 whole square divided by 100. So with that you will get the answer. Let's try some question based on these things, okay? At that time you will understand better, because most of the questions it is more understandable with questions. So the question is this: a shopkeeper offers a successive discount of 20% and 10%, then the total discount that the customer receives is, that means there is 2 discount, that means there is 2 decrease. Discount means decrease, right, in percentage. So what's the formula here? If there was 2 decrease, then formula is this: x plus y minus xy divided by 100. So 2 decrease simply means there is a decrease of 20% plus 10% minus 20 into 10 divided by 100. So 20 plus 10 is how much? It is 30 minus 0 get cancelled, 0 get cancelled, which means minus 2, which means we are getting 28% as a discount. So the net discount of 20% and 10% is nothing but 28%. Are you guys following this? This is important. If you're not following, you can tell me which part you are not following. You can comment. I'll take this question, okay? This is an interesting one. This question was asked this year, just last week, on last Saturday, okay? The question was this: successive discount of 20% and 30% is equivalent to a single discount of... Actually, this question was asked in NSSB technical, which was held last Saturday. So in this question, this was asked. So which means we are talking about discount here, and there's 20% discount and there's 30% discount. So which means 20% discount and there's 30% discount, minus 20 into 30 divided by 100. So 0 cancel, another 0 cancel. 20 plus 30 is 50, minus 2 3s are 6. So if I subtract this two, I'm getting 44%. So the answer here is 44%. I don't know who marked this, but this guy might have got the answer wrong. It's marked B there. It was asked in NSSB 2024. The question is this: 54 is 45% of what number? So it's like this. This is type number 1 that we have done, okay? It is based on numericals. So I'll form an equation for this one. So 54 is means, I told you earlier, it is equal to 54 is 45% of what number? We don't know the number, so that's the reason why I'm using x. So 54 is equal to, this is NSSB 2024, okay? 45%, that means 45%, if I need to convert it to fraction, it will be 100 into x. So which means, what do I have? 54 into 100 divided by 45 equal to x. So 9 5s are 45, 9 6 are, and 5 into how much? 520. So which means 6 into 20 is equal to x. 6 to the 12, 0 is equal to x. So which means our answer here is 120. Do we have? Yes. Our answer here is 120. So that's how you solve. Clear with this? Let's go to next. This one. Okay. 80% of 100 plus this one, then the value of x is. So we are asked to find the value of x, and something is given here. So now 80% I'll just convert directly, okay, to fraction, which is divided by 100 of how much? 100 plus root over x is equal to 81. Now 100 will get cancel each other. That means I am having 80 plus root over x is nothing but 81. So root over x is nothing but, if I transfer this, there's no sign here, which there is a plus sign there, okay? Plus 80 transfer to the other side, it is nothing but minus 81, and root over x is nothing but 1. So if I transfer this one square root to the other side, it will be square. 1 whole square is equal to 1. So the value is nothing but 1. I'll tell you one thing here. Whenever you are transferring, let's say you have x square is equal to 4. If you are transferring this power 2 to the other side, it will become square root, okay? Always remember that. And let's say you have x root, then if you transfer this root to the other side, then it will become square. Always remember that. This is a concept from surds and indices. I'll do that topic later. So that is from surds and indices. So let's try in the next question here. The next question is, this is from the same year, 2023 NSSB. If 78% of the total amount is this one, then the total amount is, okay. So the question is this: 78% of total amount is equal to 390. That's what we have. 78% of, we don't know the total amount, so that's the reason why I'm assuming it as x. 78% of means into total amount is means equal to 390. So which means that's what I've done here. Next is, I'll convert the 78 to fraction, and x is equal to 390. So what do we have here? X is nothing but, if I transfer it to the other side, it will be 390 into 100 transferred other side will be 100 in the numerator, and this 78 transferred to the other side, it will be in the denominator, which is 78 here. So maybe 78 into 5. 78 into 5 is how much? 78 into 5. 5 it's a 40, 0, 49, 7, 735, 35, 39. Yes, it's 390. 78 into 5 is 390, which means we are get 5 into 100 is 500. So the answer here is 500. Are you guys following this? Yes, no? I feel like I'm going a bit fast tonight, but I don't know. If you're following, then fine. It can also be done this way, okay? I always use this method. 78% is 390. 1% is how much? 390 divided by 78. And what do we need? We need 100%. 100% is how much? I just need to multiply it with 100. So which means 390 divided by 78 into 100. So which means 78 into 5. So 5 into 100 is nothing but 500. This is my method of approach. I'll prefer this. So if you are following this method, in your question it is given 78%. 78% is 390. So 1% will be 390 divided by 78. 78 transfer going to the other side, and we need 100%. So this is 1%. So in order to get 100%, I need to multiply it with 100. So I'm multiplying it with 100 both sides and cut it. You get the answer. That's an easy of 100. 25% means 100 into of 300 plus a%, that means a divided by 100 of 250 is equal to 5% means 100 of 2100. We have to find the value of a. So directly we can get this two get cancelled, this one and this one get cancelled, and this one and this one get cancelled. So which means what do we have here? 3 5s are 15, 3 2s are 6, 7, 75 plus 5 5s are 25, 5 2s are 10. That means 5 by 2a equal to 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are 10. That's what we have. So which means 5 by 2a is nothing but 105. If I transfer this plus 75 to the other side minus 75, which is equal to, or 5 by 2a is nothing but, if I subtract this 2, I'll get 5 minus 5 is 0, and 10 minus 7 is 3. And if I transfer this 2 to the other side, it will be 3 0 into 2. And if I transfer this 5 to the other side, it will be here 5 6 are 30. That means a is nothing but 6 to the 12. So the answer here is 12. So it's very messy here. I'll try to explain in a new slide. Yeah. Okay. You try to listen carefully from the starting. This concept is important, especially not only for election, but when there is percentage decrease continuously. That means if there is continuous percentage decrease. So I'll start with this. Let's say it can be total population in a town. In election based question, this is important. This concept is important. So let's say there's a total population in a town. We don't know. And what happened is that there will be some people who are not in the voter list, not in the voters list, and there will be the people who are in the voters list. So it is easier if you make this tree diagram whenever you are doing election based question. Okay, so even in this voters list, what will happen is that there will be some people who will not turn up in the election, so not voted for the election, and there will be people who voted for the election. And even under the people who voted for the election, what will happen is that there will be some votes which is invalid, and there's valid. And from this valid votes, what will happen is that winning, this is one candidate and this is another candidate, and this candidate will get some votes and this candidate will get some votes. So the core concept is this: total population in a town, and there will be some people who will not be in the voters list, and there will be some people in the voters list. But what we need is we will take this branch, that means the ones who are in the voters list, and there will be some people who haven't voted for the election, and there will be some people who voted for the election, and there will be some votes which are invalid, and there will be some votes which are valid. And from the valid votes, the 2% will get a vote, and likewise we can find the percentage. Okay, so let's try a question based on election. Where is it? 2%. Okay, let me take this one down here. Here the question is this: 2% contested in election of parliament. The winning candidate secured 57% of the total votes polled and won by majority. So of 4,200 votes. So in this case, what is happening is that there's no condition to do this question. There is no such thing like this number of people voted and this number of votes were invalid. If there is no condition, that means it's very simple. There is 100% in the town, and from that 100%, the winning candidate got 57%. So which means the losing candidate got how many votes? The losing candidate will get 100 minus 57. So which means 10 minus 7 is 3 and 9 minus 3 is 4. 43%. I'll repeat again. In a town, there is 100%. From this 100%, the winning candidate secured 57% of the votes, which means the remaining, which is 43%, is a vote secured by the one who lost the election. So now, but what is given? The total votes and won by a majority of 42. That means it is this majority of 42,000 votes. So what I'll do is I'll do like this: 57 minus 43. If I subtract this, so 7 minus 3 is 4, and this one 5 minus 4 is 1. The difference between their percentage is 14%, and the winning candidate got an extra vote of 42,000, which means this 14% extra is nothing but 42,000 votes. Are you guys following this? Because I need to make sure whether you are following this or not. Okay. So I'll repeat again here: 57% and 43%, which means there is some there is some certain percentage difference. The percentage difference here is 14%, and according to the question, they are saying there is a difference of 42,000 votes, which means this 14% is nothing but 42,000. So which means 1% is how much? 1% is 42. 1, 2, 3 divided by how much? 14. So if I reduce this one, 7 2s are 14, 7 6 are 42. 1, 2, 3, and 2 3s are 6. 1, 2, 3. So 1% is 3,000 votes. But what is the number of total votes polled? That means we need to get total votes, means what is it? 100%. So 1% is this, that means 100% is how much? We just need to multiply it by 100. 3 1 2 3, which means 3 1 2 3 and 1 2. So 3 lakhs vote, I guess. Yeah. So the answer is this one. Clear with this? Let me take one more question. Okay, I'll try one more and I'll do a question, different type of question. Okay, let's try this one, this question. Okay, similar question. Okay, in an election there were two candidates. A candidate got 38% of the votes and lost by 7,200 number of votes. So which means this: there is a total of 100% votes, and from that 100%, the one who is losing the election got 38%. So which means the winning candidate got how much? 100 minus 38, which is 2, and this is 9 minus 3 is 62. 62%. The winning candidate got 62% here, because the losing candidate is getting 38% only. But what's the difference? What is given here? And lost by 7,200 votes. That means let's find a difference between their votes, their percentage. 3 8. That means 12 minus 8 is 4 and 5 24. That means the difference here is nothing but 24%. But what is given? The one who lost the election lost by how many? 7,200. That means this 24% is nothing but 7,200. So 1% is how much? 7,200 divided by 24. So 24 into 3, I guess. 24 into 3, 1, 2. That means 1% is nothing but 300. So what do we need? We need 100%. So which means 300 into 100, which is 3, 1, 2, and 1, 2. 30,000 watts. So the answer is this one. So I think we are clear with this concept. It's a basic one. After that, I'll move on to next. Clear? Yes, no, please. Yeah, let's start with this now, okay? In an election, a candidate got 55% of the total votes. Total valid votes. Here there is a condition. 2% of the total votes were declared invalid. If the total number of voters is this one, okay, the number of valid votes polled in favor of the candidate is. Let's start. There is 100% here, and from this 100% there is one condition. 2% of the total votes were declared invalid. That means 2% is invalid. Invalid. Then that means valid votes is how much? 100 minus 2, which is 98. So which means 98%. So 98% is the valid votes. That's number one. But again, what is there? A candidate got 55% of the valid votes. That means out of this, a candidate is getting 55% of the valid votes. Which means the other one is getting how much? 45%. Always remember, don't refer this one, okay? But when we talk about continuous here, you refer this one and this one. This two should make 100%. That means if this one is 55%, that means this one should be 100 minus 55, which is 45. Remember that, because many makes mistake here. Now, what is given? If the total votes is how much? Total votes is 1, 0, 4, 1, 2, 3. This is the total number of votes. And we are asked to find the number of valid votes polled in favor of the candidate. That means we are asked to find 55% of that in favor of the candidate. That means this one, okay, this person. So how do we find this? The easiest way is this. How much are we getting? 55% of how much? 55% of 98% of 100% is how much votes? It is 1, 0, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you just write continuously. That means 55% of 98 and 98% of 100. But 100 here is this one in this case. That's what I've written. 55% of this one and 98% of this one. That's what I've written. So which means what do we have here? We have 55. If I convert it to a fraction, it will be 100. Of means into, and 98. If I convert it to a fraction, it is of is 100 into how much is it? 1, 0, 4, 1, 2, 3. So which means 1, 2, 1, 2 cancel, 1, 1 cancel. So how much do we have? 5 11s are 55, 5 2s are 10, and 2 4s are 8, 2 9s are 18. 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, 2 9s are 18. So we have 11 into 49 into 104. So if we multiply this one, we will get how much? Let's multiply and check. 104 into 49. 16 for the 4, that means 6 9 0 1 in hand 5, so which means we are getting 5096, so which means 6 10 15 5 1 in hand 0 1 in hand 5 6 56056 56056. Do we have the answer? 56. Yes, the answer is option number C. Yeah, this is one approach, and the other approach can be it can also be like this. If you follow my method, which I use often, 100% is how much? 1 0 4 1 2 3. 1% is how much? Ah, leave it this one, it will confuse you. For me it will be fine, but for you guys it will be a bit confusing. So are we clear with this? You just use continuous percentage. That means from here, oh, from the lower portion you start one at a time, 55% of this one, and this one this much percent of this one, and so on. Let's check one more. Do we have any 40% votes second quarter, 36% total votes polled for this one? Find the number of votes. Yeah, let's try it. Last one more question. Okay. The question is this. In an election, three candidates contested, and the first got 40% and the second got 36%, and the number of votes polled were okay. So there is 100%, and out of that 100%, what a candidate got 40% of that, and another got 36% of that. That means remaining is how much? 36 plus 40 is how much? 6 and 76. So which means the remaining is 100 minus 76, which is 14. I think it's 4. And this one is 9 minus 7 is 24, which is 24. And we are asked to find this one, 24%. So, but what is given? Total number of votes polled. That means 100% is given as how much? 36, 1, 2, 3. And we are asked to find 24%. 1% is how much? 36, 1, 2, 3. And 24% is, I just need to multiply it by 24. So which means 3, 6, 1, 2, 3 divided by 100 into 24. So which means 0, 0 get cancelled. That means 360 into 24 is how much? 36 into 24. 6 for 24, 4 29, 4 0 12, 13 14, 6 0 12, 6 7. That means 4 6 8 8 6 4 0. So which means 8 6 4 0 is our answer. So which is this one. So those are the types of question you will come across in election based. So I feel like it's easier now. Okay, let's use this one again. This was asked in NSSB. It was a good question. I'll end with this one for the night. This was asked in 2021, I guess, NSSB, okay. In a factory, there are 40% technician and 60% non-technician. If 60% of the technician and 40% of the non-technicians are permanent employee, then the percentage of the workers who are temporary is okay. I'll try to make a figure out of this. Let's say there is 100%. From this 100%, what does it say? 40% is technician. That means from this 40% is technician. And 60% is non-technician. That means 60% is non-technician. Next, what is given? If 60% of the technician, that means 60% of the technician is what? And 40% of the non-technician are, and 40% of the non-technician are, what is given, are permanent employee. That means this is permanent employee and this is also permanent employee. That means the ones who are temporary is how much? In this case it is 40%. In this case it is 60%. Then the percentage of the workers who are temporary is, okay, are you guys following this? I'll just repeat again. Out of this 100, the question it says 40% is technician and 60% is non-technician. 60% is non-technician. And the next part is this. 60% of the technician is permanent employee. That means 60% of the technician is permanent employee. That's the reason why I'm writing permanent here. And 40% of the non-technicals are permanent employee. That means 40% of the non-technician are permanent employee, which simply means that 40% is temporary and 60% is temporary for this case. But what is asked here? Then the percentage of workers who are temporary. So we are asked to find the percentage of workers who are temporary. So what will happen is this. For this one, I'll find for this one, okay? I'll start from here. I'll start from here and I'll go this path because we need temporary employee. So I'll go from this one, deal this one, and again for this one I'll go this one. So let's start with that. That means 40% of 40% of 100, that is for that's for technical, and for non-technical it is 60% of 60% of, I'll use 100 here. So let's find 40% is how much? 100, and 40% of 100 into 100. So 100 cancel, 0 0 cancel, 0 0 cancel, 4 is 16. And same thing here, if I reduce this one, 60 divided by 100 into 60 divided by 100 into how much? 100. So which means 100 cancel, 0 0 cancel, 0 0 cancel, 6 are 36. So we have how much? 16%, okay, and 36% here. So if I sum this one, how much would I get? 16 plus 36 is 6 6 is 12, 1 and 3 4 5, 52%. So the answer here is 52%. Why percent? You may ask me why percent, because the 100 here is nothing but 100%, okay? So since because of that we are getting this one is percentage. Are you guys following this? You go through once. If you have doubts, I'll repeat again. How is it? Actually, it was not like NSSB type of question, but somehow we know 2021 NSSB was, she said, was a bit tougher side, so that's the reason why this question was asked. There will be some sets of questions which I haven't done, so you try those questions, and if you have doubts, you can ask in the doubts group, and we can solve that later. Okay. For the next class, I will update in the group, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, that's all for tonight. Have a good night, everyone.